Are you a brand new band leader, or have you been a band leader and find yourself struggling to get the best out of your bandmates? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips based on some lifetime experience to help you do just that. What's good, my friend? Welcome to another video. My name is Ted and I talk bass. Today, I'm going to share with you some tips that I think will help, I know will help you get the absolute most out of your band. I've been a professional musician for well over 2 decades, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I've been on both sides as a sideman and as a band leader. So I'm going to share with you some tips that I know will help you get the most out of your band. Ready? Let's go. Leading by example. If you want your bandmates to show up on time, prepared, and being a good hang, you have to be those things as well. You have to lead by example. There's not much to be said about that. You have to exhibit the same type of behavior that you want to see out of your bandmates. Set your bandmates up for success. You have hired competent people to do that job. They know a lot of tunes and different things like that, but if you start calling audibles on stage, they may or may not know what you're asking them to do. If they do, great. If they don't, you can't be throwing fits and being disrespectful and stuff like that, especially not on the bandstand. When I'm hired as a sideman, I can guarantee that I will know 100% of the songs that I have been sent. I will make charts. I will do whatever I have to do to support that band leader, those singers, and the rest of the band, and make sure that they're successful. If you throw an audible, I may or may not know whatever tune you call. I do know a lot of tunes. I've been doing this a very, very long time, so I can, I've got big ears, and so that's a space that I'm used to. However, one person's lack of preparedness does not become a crisis for me, and it shouldn't be a crisis for anybody else. So the onus, the preparedness, that's on you as the band leader. That goes right back to tip number 1. Exhibit the type of behavior that you want to see from your band. Speaking of preparedness, my father was in the military for 31 years, Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force. And one thing, if I learned nothing else from my father, it is that proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. And that goes for anything. And there's another saying, the way you do anything is the way that you do everything. Once again, it's your job to communicate, make notes. And when we're talking about communication, you want to communicate as clearly and as succinctly as possible. Try not to overload people with information, but give them clear directions. Right back to setting expectation, right? But if you are preparing, you're taking notes, you're keeping inventory, and then from that inventory, you are weeding out the important parts to share with your band. A bonus tip for that is use email. Don't use text. I know a lot of people, particularly, this is no shade to y'all, but particularly millennials and younger, like to text. The problem with text is a lot of people don't like to be on group text. I know I'm not a fan. Also, things get easily lost in translation via text, and they just get lost, right? Email is very, very searchable, and nowadays everybody has the ability to get email on their phone. My red flags go up when folks are not able to check email. Email is a way of life. Texting, I know, is also a way of life, but email is easier for record keeping. Record, and I'm not talking about recording in the studio. I'm talking about recording rehearsals and performances. If you are, particularly if you're running like a corporate band or show band, a casual, somebody that goes out and does casuals, and you have a block of songs that you like to do, and you've come up with your own arrangements and things like that, don't expect everybody to know those arrangements. There's certain there's certain kind of stock arrangements that a lot of people do. For instance, like September into Let's Groove Tonight by Earth, Wind and Fire. A lot of people do that, right? Depending on the experience of the players that you have, they may not know to automatically go into that transition. If you've got a brand new bass player, they may not know to go right into that. Sometimes bands have longer blocks of music where they just string a whole bunch of stuff together. If you've got that and you've got hits and key changes and things of that nature, it's on you to share with those people that you're hiring, share with them those arrangements and make it plain. You see that the thread of communication is going all through this. You let them know, hey, look, don't listen to the record. Don't go to YouTube. Listen to this recording because this is the way that we do it. That's right in there with that preparation. The next tip I have ties in with all these other tips, and that is to take ownership. As the band leader, everything starts and stops with you. Period. If you're gonna wear that hat, you have to wear that hat firmly. If your band, let's say you have a corporate gig, a wedding. Let's say it's a wedding, because those could be really, really sensitive, right? And you have not communicated things like, we're going to load in here, we're going to do this, don't do this. And your guitar player comes in and accidentally spills something on a guest because they're walking through the party or something like that. That's extreme, of course, and it's kind of a, just an example that came to my head. But if you've not communicated certain things, then when the people that hire you have a problem, they're going to come to you. And so I find that when I'm the band leader, I take responsibility. I take responsibility for everything, because my preparation, I have set my bandmates up for success. I've given them clear directions, right? And so I can take the heat and speak to that person later, hire them or not hire them again, whatever the case may be. But you have to take ownership of the role, right? Too many times I've seen people, they want to call themselves band leaders, they want to be the MD, they want to have that title, but they don't want to have the responsibility that goes along with it. And that's just not cool. If you're the band leader, be the band leader. Take ownership of everything that happens in and around that band. Here's a bonus tip for you. Duke Ellington is quoted as saying that there's nothing to keeping a good band together. You simply have to have a gimmick, and that gimmick is to pay them money. It goes without saying, if you have found good people and they know that you're going to treat them fairly, you're going to communicate well, set them up for success, and most importantly, you're going to pay them equitably and in a timely fashion, you don't have to worry about them showing up. They will show up because they want to play and they want to get paid. It's just that simple. I like to think, pay them before you pay yourself. If you have to, and be open about your communication about money. If you have to get paid from the venue before you pay them, let them know, I gotta wait until this happens in order for you to get paid. Most people will understand. Myself, even with well-intended people, I get just slightly irritated if I have to ask you for money, or where the check is, or where the Venmo is, or the CashApp. So just don't do that. If you're open about it and you're equitable and fair, good people will continue to come back. I got a lot of tips in this area. I got a lot of ideas. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time. So if you want to see more videos like this one, let me know down in the comments. Like I said, I got 2 decades plus worth of experience on this. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace, 2 fingers.